Diamond Dave.
What up, guys? 2-0.
Zach the Professor.
What's going on?
Myself, Jake. Mad Men Sports. Your Buffalo Bills. 2-0. Played the Miami Dolphins. A career day by Josh Allen.
Gave us a fight of our lives.
Not unusual.
It was an amazing game. A lot of adversity.
Tons.
I mean,
Ample adversity.
from the power going out to the lightning to a Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds-less defense.
Almost an Ed Oliver-less.
Yeah, guys, what did you think of the game today? 31-28, Bills on top.
It was a really fun and entertaining game. It was some points of concern, but it was fun. Zach texted me after the game to try to rub in Josh Allen, thinking I'm not a Josh Allen fan, but I am. I knew what he was doing. But Josh Allen, Brown, and Diggs, that's a scary tandem. I loved what I saw out of that today.
Stephon Diggs makes this offense, I think, 10 times better.
He looked like an all-pro out there. He looked like a top 3 receiver. And we didn't even need to use Diggs or Brown and really even rely on him until the fourth quarter to put the game away. And Josh Allen almost had 300 yards at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think he was at like 235.
Technically, he threw 417 in 3 quarters because the Bills didn't do shit in the third. So he technically did that all in 3 quarters. That shows you how good he played today.
Yeah, at the end of the third, it was like the Bills had 5 minutes and 14 seconds of possession in the second half at that point. The third quarter, it was kind of like, oh, what's going on here? Is Fitzmagic turning it on?
He was on all day.
He's always a fighter. He's going to fight to the end.
This is probably one of those moments where Fitzpatrick holds on to his starting position 1 week longer because he played great today.
He definitely will, at least for the next 4 weeks. And they talked about that in the pregame today because the next 4 weeks, they have the toughest 4 weeks of the schedule, so they're not going to throw 2 in there. So, yeah, he's going to hold on to his job for at least their week 6 bye week.
Interesting. We have a late bye week this year.
We do.
Week 11. Let's talk about the running game. It's apparent that Devin Singletary is the number one, and I'm starting to get to a point to where outside of just getting Zach Moss reps, I'm going to need to see a lot more improvement out of him before I need to see anywhere near 50-50 split carries.
I'm not concerned yet. You got to remember there was no preseason game, so this is literally he entered his 5th quarter of football today. So
True. I mean, I'm not necessarily concerned. I'm saying that if we're trying to put a playoff season together, I mean, Devin Singletary's outright beating him in terms of performance. Zach Moss is struggling, be it
as he should.
No mini camp, no OTAs, no training camp, or training camp, but no preseason. I mean, unfortunately, we're at a point in this Bills team to where we don't have time to string someone along. So he might have to ride the bench for the rest of the year. But Devin Singletary is definitely going to have to touch the ball more. He had 10 carries for 56 yards with an average of 5.6 yards a carry. Zach, what did you think about the running game today?
It looked a lot better this week than it did last week. It was minus Josh Allen. He only ran 4 times.
18 yards.
And I only think one of them, if any, were designed runs. So I definitely think they shied away from that by far. It's what I was looking for out of the run game this season, last season. The fact that I don't care about the run game is what I needed out of the run game. Is you need a passing offense in this league, and the run game complemented it perfect. It opened up the play action. It opened up lanes. It opened up screens. It was perfect. I loved what I saw out of Devin Singletary today.
Josh Allen is the number 1 quarterback in the league right now, statistically.
Yep.
Isn't that scary?
Nope.
No, it's amazing.
It's scary because the drought for 25 years of not having a quarterback, and now looks like we have one. It's a scary thought.
I mean, the last time the Buffalo Bills threw for 400 yards, Drew Bledsoe, I think 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also threw for 417 yards, if I'm not mistaken, or
I think he threw
408.
for 467 is the
I think he did that.
record.
That's the record, but he did throw for 407. I don't know, something like that.
Joe Ferguson and
1983.
Drew Bledsoe are the only 2 people that had better passing games than Josh Allen did in Bills history today. And he is also the first Bill in Bills history to pass for 400 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions.
That's crazy.
First Bill ever. Which isn't crazy when you think about who the Bills quarterbacks have been, but it's crazy to think that this guy's the first one to do it and what kind of performance he put on. Listen, he always shows out for against Miami.
It's crazy that it's Miami who he chooses to just play hero ball against.
I'm glad it's a division game.
They had zero pass rush. Use Shaq in that position. I know they sacked us a few times, but there was zero pressure. Like he had to lead.
He was sacked
It's
once,
like the goal of the defense today was to not get him scrambling out of the pocket.
No, that's a great call. I think he was only sacked once for a loss of 4 yards. And just Shaq Lawson, I mean, he extended plays great today. I saw him weave and duck and dive past Shaq Lawson on a couple of plays. Digbo, number 23 from the Dolphins, is a
Guy that went in for Byron Jones.
Yeah, I can't really nail down his name, but he was very complimentary towards Josh Allen in the post game press conferences, saying he's never seen anyone extend plays like that. Is something he's never seen on any level of football. It's really going to be a learning experience. And you know what? Josh Allen's out here teaching people like he's the professor or something.
Wow, we have 2 professors now.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the defense? What was your takeaway with that?
I think I'm going to give you what I think about the defense, but it's going to translate to the offense. It's a fresh of breath air knowing when the defense can't get it done, knowing that the offense can finally, after
Absolutely
20 years, can get it done. I'm so sick. I'm thankful to have a very good defense, but it's very struggling to know that if your defense has a bad game, that it's kind of a loss unless something crazy happens.
Exactly. You think of like you can on your one hand you can think of the losses that McDermott's had a bad defensive game that the offense couldn't put anything together. You got the Peterman Bears game, you got the Tyrod Saints game, you got the Eagles game last year. I mean, those are big blowout losses against NFC teams that the defense couldn't put it together, couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop the pass, and your offense had no answers. Today, Fitzmagic was in full effect. He had his best game since I would like to say beginning of last year. He was on fire in the whole game. I mean, he kept the team on for the full third quarter. He had one of those games that's Fitzmagic. And you were waiting for that back-breaking interception. It never came. But the defense couldn't really match it. He picks on Levi Wallace every time he plays him. But the offense came and rang the bell. It was time for the offense to step up for the Buffalo Bills organization. And John Brown, Josh Allen, Cole Beasley making some great plays. Gabriel Davis had a great touchdown. Reggie Gilliam had his first career catch and touchdown on his first play. That was great. The Bills' offense really put it together in the passing game today. Today shows that last week wasn't a fluke. We would like to see a couple more of those games put together before we start thinking, wow, this is really consistent. This is something we can really expect going into games.
And we talk about teams, the level of competition, but I want to point out a stat that kind of is the contrary of that. Last year as well, we did really good in this area. Red zone efficiency. Buffalo Bills, historically speaking, last year and this year, have been great in the red zone. Today, 2 of 2 for 100%.
Hell yeah.
You could have a subpar team and still have a difficult time in the red zone. The red zone is one of the hardest places to play on the NFL field. So seeing that we're still putting the ball, turning that into points, which historically past last season has always been a struggle for Bills, turning long drives into points, it's really satisfying to be able to see, hey, we don't have to worry about a field goal here.
Yeah.
We're starting to put points up on the board. I mean, we've been 20-some points by halftime both weeks this season, which is really great to me because the Bills have been known for such a long time as a second-half team. We're still starting to put it together in the first half, which is fantastic to me. I hate kind of getting out super slow, kind of having to corral the other team's offense and just say, oh, guys, let's hope we can hold on until half, until we really start turning it on. But now we're coming out guns a-blazing, and that is really kind of biggest thing for me on why I think this year is going to be different.
And something not being talked about at all is the Bills' offensive line. Just looks awesome. And I know Cody Ford was subbed out for a little bit for Winters. Ford went back in the fourth and played fine. He played well when he needed to. I think the defense today, because I didn't get a chance to touch on it, was it looked when Milano and Edmonds were out, we had to rely on the offense, and the offense pulled through. Because obviously the defensive game plan was not the same as usual. White was picked on a lot. Levi was picked on a lot. I thought Jordan Poyer was the outstanding player for the defense today. He took it on his back, and he looked phenomenal. He had that big-time sack in the fourth, too, Jake.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good when those players are out. Josh Allen could take the offense and do it. He's not gonna put those numbers up every single week. That's why it's nice to enjoy it now.
Or he could.
Yeah.
He could.
Next week, you got the Rams. We'll focus on that Wednesday. But, he's not going to do it every week. But the defense isn't going to play this lackluster every week.
He could.
Definitely could. I mean, we've now seen that he can.
And I don't think it was I don't think it was lackluster.
Defense?
No, I think they're missing an integral part in the middle of their defense.
They're missing 3 starters. That's the bottom line.
Sorry, Zach, go on. My apologies.
I mean, listen, we could say that he's not going to do 300 yards every week, but out of our 2 sample sizes with this new offense, with Stephon Diggs, John Brown getting open because he's playing less inferior corners than he was before, he's only upped his game in back-to-back. And I know people are going to say it's the Jets, it's the Dolphins, whatever. I don't care. The bottom line is you need to beat those teams twice. You play them twice, you got to beat them twice. That's 4 wins right there. You got to win your divisional games. I don't care if it's the Jets or it's the Dolphins. That was an important game, no matter how you cut it.
And if you're saying that, fine, just wait and see.
Exactly.
I'm very confident the Bills can do similar things to better teams. I mean, look at the Chiefs, for example. Justin Herbert, rookie quarterback, first start, almost beat them. I mean, it came down to the last second.
No game plan for him whatsoever, and he went out there.
So why can't the Buffalo Bills do that? I don't see why they can't. The defense is good enough.
Dable's good at putting together.
What Josh Allen did was amazing today, and I'm saying he doesn't have to do this every single week because we know we can rely on the defense too. Now we know that we have both aspects of the game. Dable deserves a head coaching job, and he's probably going to have it at the end of the year. The things he's doing right now is amazing.
Let's talk about the wide receivers. Zach touched on it with John Brown. Stephon Diggs, that one ball, that jump ball, I keep looking at it, I keep watching it, I'm just like, how is that caught?
You don't see that any other year of the Bills.
Uncatchable. John Brown, it was kind of interesting seeing him go deep. There was a miscommunication. People were saying it was a bad throw by Allen. I think it was just a miscommunication because you saw him going like this. In that next play, same coverage.
And it worked.
For the same exact ball.
Yeah.
Touchdown to put him over 400 yards. You got Gabriel Davis making his first NFL touchdown, which also a great throw, great catch. I mean, the less of these really shitty throws we see of Josh Allen, the less of the haters you're going to see, because I think they were very quiet today, other than it's the Dolphins.
There's nothing to hate on.
Byron Jones was
a complete
injured.
team win besides some gaps in the defense.
Exactly.
As I said last week, Sunday, everyone on Twitter was saying, wow, Cam looks great. Cam's back. Cam's this. Cam's that. It was, 150 yards last week from Cam Newton, and everyone was calling him an MVP again? Well, you can't then turn around, watch Josh Allen do 417, 4 touchdowns, 0
interceptions, and then call it's the Dolphins. No, that's a completely awful double standard that Bills fans should stick up for and not allow.
Yeah, I mean, and to kind of flip it too, the only really threat on that Dolphins offense was Mike Gesicki, that tight end, which when we saw Micah Hyde on him, it went very well.
Yeah.
But I mean, Levi Wallace was just...
catches.
And if you have Tremaine Edmonds and Matt Milano in, you're probably talking about a different story. I think they strategically kept both of them out this week.
Yeah.
You want them to heal up, and then so it doesn't linger.
And that's certainly not happening when you have your coverage linebacker.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I mean, Levi Wallace was definitely picked on, but I think they just weren't going towards Trey White, so that's the process of elimination there. But
Can I do my stat?
give your stat. Don't know. You cannot do your stat.
It's a true stat, though. Today, Trey White let up his first touchdown against in over a season and a half.
Yeah.
This was not Trey White's best game today. He was picked on a little bit.
I don't think he was picked on. I think he let up a garbage time touchdown, but the stat nonetheless sticks that he finally let up a touchdown.
We won by 3 points. There's no garbage time touchdowns.
No, they were garbage
That
time.
was garbage time touchdowns. That was definitely garbage time. There was no way Dolphins are coming back after the John Brown touchdown.
Is it bad that when I saw Micah Hyde get that onside kick that I thought just maybe for a second that he was going to take it for a touchdown?
Did you guys see on the onside kick when they showed replays? Fitzpatrick's already taken his shoes off and stuff. He was done. He knew he
exactly,
wasn't
'cause
receiving it.
What is the
it's garbage time.
success rate of onside
Exactly.
kicks? Like,
The Cowboys got one today and
15%.
came back and won the game.
is that one kicker that is super good at onside kicks? There's one in the NFL that is
Bailey,
just
the
money.
Cowboys kicker is Bailey.
I don't know, but I don't know.
None of them are money. One might be mildly better than the other, but I don't think I think it was probably maybe Justin Tucker. The end of the game is the Atlanta Falcons are just an awful organization right now. They need a new head coach. He'll be the first one fired of the year. You can put that one down in the book.
Dawson Knox got a concussion today. We could probably look at him to be out this week.
Oh, it is Young Ho Koo from the Atlanta Falcons. He's like really good.
He should have been on the other side of the field today then.
Yeah.
They also got a good hands team. But yeah, Dawson Knox looks like he's out for a concussion. You guys see that?
Yeah, he fumbled.
We didn't see it. Due to the power outage, we did not see it, thank God.
Yeah, during the power outage, we look at the stats. All of a sudden, Josh Allen's at like 206 on passing yards.
Right, yeah.
And we're like, what the heck are we missing? Isaiah McKenzie had a huge pass.
What did you guys do for the power outage? You guys run the car?
No,
We just went for a walk, actually.
no, that was the lightning strike.
Oh, yeah. Now we just angrily sat there for the Pittsburgh game.
Yeah, we
Sat
sat
fired
there.
up the car and turned up the sound.
We sat there on our phones watching everything, play by play. We sat on ESPN.com. It was good enough.
Someone went on live, actually, on Facebook, which was
Rachel
good.
Bush.
Oh, yeah.
Lorenz Jefferson. Shout out to Lorenz Jefferson.
Also wasn't him. It was just someone on the Bills
Well,
Mafia Facebook page.
I was watching his.
Whoops. Yeah, I don't know.
Listen, I think the biggest takeaway today is Josh Allen. And I think we're seeing this out of Josh Allen because the Bills have a number one wide receiver. You don't see this without Stephon Diggs, who had 8 catches, 153 yards, and a touchdown, who's now at 16 catches, 239 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown.
Which is a good transition for Diamond in the Rough this week is Stephon Diggs. How do you not give it to him? He's not on the field.
You give
You
it
don't win
to
today.
Josh
Terrell
Allen.
Dotson.
Josh Allen doesn't. Quarterbacks don't get it. That's my one rule.
Terrell Dotson had a great game today. I would have given it to him. You
You
used to
got to
ask
give it
us.
to Diggs. And Dotson,
Used
good
to
for
ask
him.
us.
I mean, if he keeps playing, because I do think Milano's out for a couple more weeks. I think Edmonds could come back this week, but I think Milano is out a couple weeks. We could be talking about Dotson next year, and maybe Milano isn't here if Dotson keeps playing. Well, it is a little premature, but
I don't think it's premature. That's pretty much what I came to the conclusion with. Is they probably lose. Milano probably loses leverage with the Buffalo Bills due to the fact that Dotson's getting a lot of playing time. A and B, looking pretty good when he's doing it.
yeah,
Definitely.
And I know it's easy to say everyone's happy because it's 2-0 as the Bills, but it's good to see Stephon Diggs on the sideline giving fist bumps, a place he's not even involved in, because he had the issues in Minnesota where he didn't want to be included with the team anymore.
He had
It's good
Kirk
to see
Cousins
that
as
he
a
just
quarterback.
seems happy to be here.
Did we talk about the stat?
No, give
To
the
where
stat.
Stephon Diggs had more receiving yards than the entire
Yeah.
offense of the Minnesota Vikings?
Minnesota Vikings receivers had receiving yards. They might have been the whole offense.
I think
You
it
should
was the
check
whole
it.
offense. Delvin Cook only had like 50 yards.
Yeah,
That might be pretty close with the whole offense.
Who did
I
they
know
play today?
Awful. Colts.
Scored 11 points.
Who isn't known for having a good defense?
Kirk Cousins had 11.
113.
Yeah. Oh, no. Delvin
Yeah.
Cook had a
It
63
was receiving yards.
Yeah.
But it was pretty darn close to total yards.
right.
What's the number today?
We dominated like Schitt's Creek. Schitt's Creek took everything at the Emmys tonight. See that?
No.
Yeah,
You should watch that show, Jake.
Let me get in there real quick. Look up the Bills game real quick. I want to see total yardage. Let's do it here. Because I believe that the Bills might have walked away today with a ridiculous amount of total yardage. I want to say 576, but I don't know if it's that low or high. I just know for a fact that they showed out. Do a little look up here. Patriots there are 2 minutes left. The Patriots are about to lose, so the Bills will be alone atop of the AFC East, which is a nice stat.
Patriots have tough games coming up, just like we do too.
Yeah, but Bills don't have tough games. They have tough people. Recap. You don't have the come on. You don't have the total yards yet. Team stats. Total yards 524. They had 524 yards today of a Buffalo Bills offense. That's as good as you can get right there. Or is it paused?
I don't know. The audio engine was not able to process all player data. Well, it looks like that we will have to take some parts from this phone and then some parts from this audio. We're going to keep going. I mean, I don't know what's going on. It'll be fine. I'll fix it.
We're probably good, aren't we?
We're good. We're good. We're good as good.
It's just always something. Here
It's
at
always.
Madman
It's
Sports,
almost always something. We were a little late this week because we decided to film at 4K,
which
and
did not
YouTube-
work out.
YouTube doesn't even support 4K, so
No, it does. My fucking computer doesn't when I'm trying to work on it.
all right. So fans, drop a comment for us. Who was your player? So because we got 3 different people right now.
No, just keep going. I'm just annoyed.
We got Stephon Diggs, Terrell Dotson, and yours was Josh Allen, who can't get the player of the game.
I'm giving it to him. I have that authority.
I mean, you could, honestly. He was worth breaking the rules for today. He was that good. Who do you guys think, besides Josh Allen, was the player of the game? I think that's a good question. I think the team played well on offense. I think John Brown is the most underrated player in the NFL right now.
To me, it was either Diggs, Brown, or Poyer. They all played amazing, but I mean, without Diggs on the field, you don't win.
Poyer had a big sack. Poyer had a big sack. Without Diggs on the field, I think you're talking about a completely different. I think your whole outlook on Josh Allen's different.
Yeah, you're still scoring 19 points a game if you don't have Stephon Diggs.
I mean, when the electricity or lightning struck, Bills were garbage in the third quarter. They weren't anything. I actually thought we were going to lose that game because
The defense
they
was out
looked
there for too long.
super unprepared. The offense had 2 3-and-outs. That we looked super unprepared the whole third quarter. We just weren't ready. And then the fourth quarter, something clicked. So I was getting a little irritated with the coaching staff because we looked just so unprepared. And the Bulls got the Dolphins ready to go.
Brian Flores definitely got the
Brian
Dolphins
Flores,
ready
yes.
to
Here we go. Here we go.
But the bottom line is, the Bills look great on offense. It was, believe it or not, it was a 3-point game, but it was garbage time. At the end of the day,
Yeah, what are you going to do?
yeah, I mean, exactly. The game was not as close in the fourth quarter as the final score.
No one's going to care about the score week
Exactly.
17 when we're going to the playoffs anyways.
You got to go 2-0. You
Exactly.
got to win your week, 1-0 every week. That's what we do at Madman Sports. We go 1-0 every week. We have a big week this week. Rams, Aaron Darnold,
Their running back is out.
Jalen Ramsey, Jared Goff. What are they, 2 years removed from the Super Bowl now?
Yeah.
It's a big game.
Tyrod, too. Did you hear about Tyrod today?
Yeah, he had almost a heart attack
he
or something
okay?
like that.
So prior to kickoff, Tyrod Taylor experienced difficulty breathing. He was taken to the locker room for evaluation. He was transported to the hospital shortly thereafter to undergo further evaluation. Taylor has since been discharged.
I wonder if he had COVID in the offseason. I don't know if that was a thing or not.
Yeah. That's
You guys watch Hard Knocks, right? I
No.
didn't. Did
I watched
Did
it.
he have COVID?
He did not, but the coach did. But Tyrod wasn't on Hard Knocks much. He said he doesn't like being on camera
He
like
was
that.
just on it with the Browns. I mean,
Yeah.
Tyrod, he keeps getting beat up. He might have been on it with the Ravens when they were on, too. Is he a 3-time hard knocker?
Oh, shit. Probably.
He'll be on whatever team's on next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a side effect of COVID, so, you got to look out for that. Eduardo Rodriguez, the Red Sox pitcher, out for the season with a heart condition.
Jeez.
So you got to be careful. Congrats to the NFL for taking care of it, because I would have thought by now there have been some hiccups. There hasn't been any.
Imagine if Herbert in his first game beat the Super Bowl champs.
They were very,
overtime
so
today.
close.
I liked him coming out.
That'd be a
But
story.
I think the Chiefs aren't unbeatable.
No, I think they're definitely got their flaws, and I think their defense is definitely not as good as people.
I think they suck on
Yeah,
defense.
I don't think their defense is that good.
All right.
We'll talk to you on Wednesday or Thursday morning.
Sorry
Take
about
care.
the sound.
Have a great rest of your week.
It's always
Go Bills, 2-0.
Fault.